This is Economy Watch, what you need to know about New Zealand's economic life today. Brought to you by interest.co.nz.
Kia ora, and welcome to Monday's Economy Watch, where we follow the economic events and trends that affect Aotearoa. I'm David Chaston, and this is the international edition from interest.co.nz, and today we lead with news China's deflation pressures keep on coming, and the US disinflation rolls on, which they hope will end soon too. This coming week will be another one with chunky data releases. The biggest will be on Wednesday, our own CPI result for the third quarter of 2024. That will follow the Tuesday's update of the September REINZ results. We won't be the only country reporting inflation data. We'll also get that from Canada, India and Japan this week. At the end of the week, the ECB will be reviewing its policy interest rate, and all week we'll be getting American third quarter earnings reports. China will report its third quarter GDP result on Friday, likely to fall well short of its 5% target. Over the weekend, China released sets of key data. The tiny bit of consumer inflation they had disappeared in September, now up only 0.4% from a year ago. Beef, lamb and milk prices all went backwards again. Their producer prices deflated at a faster rate, and we're now waiting for their new yuan loan data, which isn't expected to be very strong. So far, debt-induced growth hasn't worked. Meanwhile, Chinese Ministry of Finance officials announced some more modest steps to support the economy and signalled much more is to come. It was a much-anticipated set piece that left observers and markets underwhelmed. Key banks made simultaneous coordinated moves, signalled a while ago to be fair, to cut mortgage borrowing costs as a practical measure to reduce pressure on homeowner household budgets. They'll come into effect in the last week of October. And coming up sometime this week, the Chinese Central Bank is expected to signal lower wholesale interest rate costs for its one-year MLF announcement. In South Korea, they've started cutting their policy rates too, although not as aggressively as New Zealand. The Bank of Korea policy rate is now 3.25% after its first cut since May 2020. That came after data showed their GDP shrank in the second quarter of 2024, and the September inflation slowed to 1.6%, the lowest since February 2021. India's industrial production took a surprise drop in August from a year ago, its first retreat since October 2022. Few saw that coming, and they downwardly revised the 4.7% rise in July. Interestingly, the Indian currency is under pressure, and outflow levels have been high. The Indian rupee has hit a record low against the US dollar. In the US, producer prices hardly rose in September. US factory gate prices were flat in the month from August and missing expectations of a 0.1% rise. On an annual basis, PPI inflation eased to a 7-month low of 1.8%. US consumer sentiment was little changed in October, according to the University of Michigan survey, holding at a level it has been broadly at since May. There was a slight dip from the prior month, something that is probably just related to election uncertainties. And for those who follow such things, we can report no surprises in the October update of the USDA World Agricultural Supply and Demand Estimates report. But they did raise their beef import forecast marginally again and lowered their US milk production forecasts again. Canada reported a good 47,000 person rise in employment in September, almost double what was expected. Better still, full-time jobs rose 112,000, while part-time roles shrank 65,000. Their jobless rate slipped to 6.5% when a rise was anticipated. Ratings agency Fitch has downgraded their sovereign rating for France from stable to negative, but still at AA-. They say fiscal policy risks have increased since our last review, unquote. Fitch have New Zealand at AA+ and stable. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now just on 4.07% and unchanged from Saturday. A week ago it was at 3.99%, so up 8 basis points since then. And the price of gold will start today at $2,657 an ounce and down $3 from this time Saturday. But that's up $8 from a week ago. Oil prices are holding at just on $75.50 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price is still on $79 a barrel. A week ago, these prices were at these same levels, so no change in a week. And the Kiwi dollar starts today at 61.1 US cents and down a minor 10 basis points from Saturday. Against the Aussie, we're unchanged at 90.5 Australian cents. Against the euro, also unchanged at 55.9 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at 69.3 and unchanged from Saturday at this time, but it's 40 basis points lower than a week ago. And the Bitcoin price starts today at $62,627 and up 0.6% from Saturday. Volatility over the past 24 hours has been modest at just on plus or minus 1.1%. You can find links to the articles mentioned today in our show notes, and you can get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again tomorrow.